MMA Boxing Talk here. This is a prediction video for Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou. Just watched the weigh-ins. I said I was going to wait to make my final prediction after the weigh-in. Um, I put out a preview video about a week ago. At that point, I was leaning towards Stipe Miocic. Um, to be quite honest, whenever Overeem got knocked out by Ngannou, it was fresh in everyone's mind. At that point, I was feeling Ngannou, um, and then after time, a little time went by, started thinking Stipe definitely can win this fight. Ngannou, really has never been, his chin's never been really tested. He has been taken down in the UFC before, so I've been going back and forth. It's a really tough fight to predict. I think it's a real 50-50 fight. Um, but you got to pick a winner. Only one person's going to win, unless it's a draw, which I just don't see happening. I think obviously the longer the fight goes, the more it favors Stipe. I think if he can get out of the first two rounds, it's his fight to lose. Um, Ngannou has beat some decent opponents, but like I said, his chin's never been tested. He's never been really tested yet at all in the UFC. So it's really tough to know where he's at. He hasn't faced a guy like Stipe, who's in his prime, who very very well-rounded fighter. Stipe's definitely has the better boxing. Um, I don't think he has more power than Ngannou. Obviously, Ngannou has that. He dominates that category, I think. But Stipe, he knocks people out too. So if he lands on Ngannou first, it could be over. We don't know what Ngannou's chin's like I keep saying. Um, Stipe is a great wrestler. Um, doesn't really go for too many takedowns. I think it'll be tough to take Ngannou down early when he has energy. But as the fight goes on, if it goes past the second and third round, Ngannou might be more susceptible to a takedown. Um, like I said, I'm really not sure. I've been going back and forth, but I have to be honest with my gut right now. I think Ngannou is going to win this fight. I think he's going to stop Stipe Miocic in the first two rounds. Um, I think it's going to be a first round finish by Francis Ngannou. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Um, Ngannou, a lot of people think, they're both going to show each other a lot of respect early on, and that very well could happen. But it only takes one to land. Um, and I think Francis Ngannou finds Stipe's chin in the first 5 minutes. I think he knocks him out in the first round by TKO. He's going to drop Stipe. I don't think Stipe will be completely out of it, but he'll be, in really bad condition, and Francis is going to finish him off by TKO, ground and pound. That's my prediction. And this is, like I said, this is not me, only thinking about that knockout over Overeem and saying that Ngannou is going to beat everyone. I realize that he might have a hard time landing clean if Stipe's pressuring him and it has his back up against the cage, and he can't really throw flat-footed punches and really put everything into him if Stipe is grinding him and pressuring him and pushing him. But I just think Ngannou will find a way to land flush. If it doesn't happen in the first round, it'll happen in the second round. But my prediction is first round TKO by Francis Ngannou. That's it for this one. If you like the video, subscribe. Check me out on Twitter at MMA Boxing Talk 1. Enjoy the fights on Saturday. There's so much to look forward to. This UFC card is not the strongest. You got two title fights, I should say, which is awesome. And you also have to start off the card is Thomas Almeida taking on Rob Font. I think that'll be an exciting barn burner. Almeida only knows how to fight one way, so he's always in exciting fights. John Vellante can be in an exciting fight. And the Shane Burgos against Cater, I'm not too familiar with those guys. So it's not the greatest card, but there's also Lamont Peterson taking on Earl Spence Jr., the IBF champion, that's a huge welterweight fight in boxing. Um, you know, Earl Spence Jr. Is a guy that people want to see in there with Keith Thurman and possibly Terrence Crawford in the future. So definitely interested in seeing Earl Spence. This will be his first defense of his IBF title. He took the IBF belt away from Kell Brook in Kell Brook's hometown, Sheffield, England, last May. So this will be his first defense. Lamont Peterson's no joke, but Peter Earl Spence Jr. should get the job done without a doubt. Probably stop him in the later rounds. And also we have that Bellator card, Bellator 192. Awesome card. I mean, that's a better card than the UFC card if you go, in general. Obviously, they don't have an Ngannou versus Stipe on their card, but you got Rory McDonald, one of the best welterweights in the world, taking on another top world-class welterweight in Douglas Lima. That's a great matchup. It's not a foregone conclusion Rory McDonald's going to win that fight. Lima has tremendous kicks, tremendous power. He's a finisher. He's also a big, tall guy, similar stature as Rory. So that's going to be a great fight. That's the co-main event. The main event, you got Chael versus Rampage. Cannot wait for that. That's because that's the round one of the tournament, that Bellator Grand Prix heavyweight tournament. So that's the first fight. I just put out a video on that fight yesterday, so go check out my Bellator tournament predictions, because I make all my predictions, how I see the tournament unfolding and who's going to win, of course, in the end. Also, you got Michael Chandler fighting on that card. I believe this is Chandler's first fight back since losing his belt in a really weird way. His ankle or whatever, his leg just gave out on him. I think it was his ankle or foot. So he's on the card. And also, the young phenom Aaron Pico is going to have his third MMA fight, all in Bellator. So definitely amazing night of fights for the sports combat world. That's it for this one. If you like the video, subscribe. Peace.